top of the day, beautiful people. Trying to get this hair together here. Should have just pulled it up into a ponytail is what I should have did. Tiffany. That's trouble, y'all. That's trouble. Okay, y'all. That's what y'all was starting. First Kings today. First Kings. Of course, I want to say something real quick before we get started. Let's write this down. 2, 3. Okay, write this down real quick. Yeah. Okay. All right, y'all. I hope none of y'all got caught up in any of the craze out there with the food at the grocery stores and stuff with people getting the toilet paper and the hand sanitizer. You know what they are? People are crooks. People are real crooks. They play on people's unpreparedness and their lack of concern to the last minute. And I think I may have mentioned it before, but everybody, at least for a week now, everybody been out of hand sanitizing. Those who have it are complete crooks. And even when prices go back to normal, I will not be purchasing from them. Not that I really cared about hand sanitizer, because we wash our hands all the time, because I got like a billion little kids, and so I'm always, go wash your hands. No, put that back. You just go flush the toilet, go wash your hands. I'm always doing that. So they're in the habit of washing their hands already, right? And plus, I keep stock on some of that stuff anyway already. But anyway, those little small bottles of hand sanitizer, like maybe like 8 ounces and 4 ounces. Somebody was selling them. It was like 3 vendors up there, but Amazon was getting smart. They started removing those companies who were price gouging people. A pack of 8 8-ounce hand sanitizer. Somebody marked their price up to $599.99. I was like, this is disgusting. It completely pissed me off. I was like, bye. So with that and the toilet paper, and if y'all still need some, if you haven't got wind of it, if you have little drugstores around, at least what I know still around here, like Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, they still have toilet paper and stuff. They out of hand sanitizer, and everybody's out of alcohol now too, because hand sanitizer is nothing but alcohol, aloe vera gel, and fragrance. So they're out of that. I got aloe vera here. I got alcohol here. And we wash our hands anyway, so I ain't worried about that. But y'all, let me tell y'all something. If y'all haven't noticed, people freaking out over the water and stuff, get a good filter. We got the good filters. We got pitcher filters, and we got like the Life straws and stuff, because we've been preparing since last year on some things, right? So we're not really worried about that. But let me tell you about this next wave that's about to happen when they realize the school's not going to open back up. And if you were smart, you'd already be thinking about this. Stores might still be long. You have some people stocking up on other things like canned goods and stuff. A lot of people not thinking that far right now, and I'm telling y'all, while they're after water and hand sanitizer, you better go ahead and stock up on canned goods and non-perishables, because that's going to be the next wave of panic when they realize that the schools are not going to open back up after 2 weeks. You got to look at it. You got a trend of all the governors all over the United States. Yes, girl, I got a bunch of flour and oil too. I was up last night. I was like, okay. And plus, we're coming up on Passover and the week of unleavened bread. So we got to eat a whole, if you eat bread, it's a whole week of unleavened bread. So I was like, okay, let me do this. I was like, because when they run out of bread, we're going to be doing this for a while. And if we run out of bread, we ain't going to die if we don't have bread, But I know how to make bread without or flat cakes of bread without yeast. I know how to do that. Flour, oil, and water. Simple. And some salt. But when they realize the schools are not going to open back up, because you got to look at it they're keeping in touch. The governors are keeping in touch with the president and the task force. Rice, potatoes, girl, we got that. They got big bags of flour like toddlers. I seen them in food. I was like, this must be restaurant size. So we got rice. I'm gonna leave out here early, and I'm gonna just see if anybody up there. And if ain't nobody up there, it may be some people up there, But I'm going to go past there and I'm going to just check. And if they got some more of them big bags, I'm going to just grab a couple more bags. But our potatoes, we putting in the ground today because they're really easy. Potatoes and sweet potatoes are really easy to reproduce. I posted a lot of links up there for those people paying attention. But let me tell you something. Most people, except for gardeners and those who plant, most people not going to be thinking about seeds, because when you run out of food, if you know how to at least reproduce some small things that'll keep you alive, keep you fed, you can go after seeds, or you can get some produce. And people, the produce is still there. You know, the whole vegan section of food is still there. There's some good stuff that's still there. People not thinking about that, just thinking, oh, water and toilet paper and hand sanitizer. I'm like, what y'all gonna eat? Y'all house is already stocked with food. You know, so before that next wave of panic hit, those things that the masses are not thinking about right now because they're waiting on the president or the news to come out for something else. Everybody's like, oh, it's a bunch of hype, it's gonna pass over. Let me tell you something. It is, but that hype that people pushing is causing the entire place to go into panic, and the food is clearing off the shelves. And like I said the other day, if you don't know how to reproduce food or cause a multiplication miracle to happen of the food that you already have, you better go get some food and make sure your family can eat. Because think about it, do y'all think they're gonna open back up in a couple weeks for real? Me personally, call me a conspiracy theorist, there is a much bigger agenda going on behind the coronavirus. It is not about the coronavirus. Yeah, the coronavirus is simply a cold, and people that have immune systems are dying from it. I mean, it's not a whole lot. Most people they're getting better from it, but it's simply a cold. But they've been preparing us since last year. Y'all remember a couple years ago when the president, he was like, this is the calm before the storm. And the news reporter said, Mr. President, what do you mean calm before the storm? And he said, you'll see. You will see. And that stuck with me. I was like, yep, see, he's telling people. Then they put out the thing, oh, be prepared for at least 6 months. You had the New York governor. Nobody else has said it, but I'm listening to the different governors and everything. And somebody asked the New York governor, he said, well, how long do you think? He said, well, we look at least for it all to pass over and completely run its course over the next 6 months. Y'all telling people 2 weeks. Why y'all telling people 2 weeks? Because people can handle 2 weeks. People can't handle right now everything going crazy. You telling them 6 months? The United States will go in complete pandemonium if they told them 6 months. So why they say 2 weeks? Because people can handle 2 weeks right now. That's to keep the chaos down, y'all. Y'all got to pay attention to what they doing, what they saying. What y'all see, my brother lives in Washington State. He called us yesterday. When he didn't call us, he was texting. He was on his way to work. He actually did a voice message because he was driving, and he said, "Listen." And they had already been hearing that the National Guard was coming to secure all their borders as well. They're gonna secure all the borders at every state, y'all. They got the National Guard coming in. He said there was an entire entourage of military vehicles that passed him. He said there is no military base near where he lives. And mind you, my brother lived here for years. He just recently, last year, moved up to Washington State. You know, they're coming to secure the borders. You know, so, I mean, here's what's crazy. When they started, because I have dreams all the time. I've been dreaming about this stuff for a while, but a few dreams I've had last year, and I was telling my family about when it started happening. Like, I dreamt about the whole uproar in Hong Kong and everything. There was the riots and stuff in the streets. So I called my family and told them about it. And when it started happening, I'm like, oh. I said, hey, you remember my dream? Yep, I remember your dream. Then stuff started happening. Then I had a dream last year. I woke up immediately. I said, babe, I said, this is weird. I said, I just had a dream. I saw all the sports, the nationals, like the NFL, the NBA, the NHL. I saw all the sports leagues. I saw all of their logos, and they all shut down. I said, I don't know what in the world could happen where all the sports leagues would shut down. When that happened, when the NBA shut down the other day, my dream immediately came. And I had this last year. So that's why I know, I was like, something more than what they're saying is going on. And this is not just going to blow over where everybody being nonchalant. Otherwise, y'all would not have given me that dream. If it was something that was going to blow over, what would be the point in giving me that dream? Because he's telling us prepare. You know, so I'm like, okay. And I'm telling my sisters, I was like, oh, shoot. So when this stuff started happening and I dreamt about it, and it's happening now, it caused me to start sweating under my arms. I was like, oh my gosh, Father, people is not taking it serious. And they tell us we're doing too much. Girl, this is just like everything else. I was like, no, it's not just like everything else. Like I've been having dreams since I was a little girl of things that come to pass. And I know this is a thing that's not going to, we've been hearing about this for years. People want to call it the end of the world. Call it what you want, but this is something that's not just going to blow over. And they're using the coronavirus to push behind the scenes another agenda that they're trying to push. And people think it's a joke. They're making memes. They're completely blind to what's going on. And it's going to be really too late for some people when they realize that the government is literally about to start. That's why they just passed the Stafford Act. It gives them the ability to call FEMA and to take hold of all the resources that are here to do whatever they need to do. How would you like to stand in a line where the government rations your food because you didn't prepare? Not on my watch. I'm telling y'all, before the next wave of panic sets in and they really start clearing out the grocery stores, why they still got enough stock here that's already here. You better get smart, but while they out of stuff, get other stuff that you may need. Make sure you got first aid kits, different things like that. If you have children, just think about little things. Forget all the junk food and snacks like that. You better get things that will sustain you. Peanut butter, rice, potatoes, non-perishable canned goods, things like that. If your family is gluttonous and they eat all the time, y'all better get them appetites under control. I'm telling y'all. That's all I'm going to say, y'all. I'm just saying, y'all, it's not a joke. We at that time, like, for real. And when they put that out, when the government put the thing out, be prepared to be able to survive for at least 6 months without help of anybody. Because what if they can't come to you? What if the police can't come? Yes, herb plants for medicines. Go get y'all some seeds, y'all. I'm going to head out to, today. As soon as I get done, I think they open now. And I'm going to go get some more seeds and stuff, and little plants, and just get it going, y'all. If y'all have produce in your house, like I've had in my post, the tomatoes and stuff, all those things can be reproduced at home. Don't cut the edges off and throw them away like you normally do. Save them. Plant them in your backyard. Get pots if you don't have pots. You can start growing. You can grow them in both. You got stuff in your house you can use. You can literally grow them in anything. You got the plastic bags black people take and they throw them up under their sink or wherever we keep all them plastic bags. You probably use for fried chicken or whatever you use it for, little trash bags. Keep them. You can actually put dirt in them and you can grow lettuce and different things out of those. Set them out there. Like, seriously, you can literally grow food in anything. So, all right, y'all. I'm being so super serious. And I'll be here like a statue every morning like I've been doing. But I actually thought about something, so I'm not saying that it's going to happen. But what if there is a blackout of communications where we can't use the internet or we can't use the phone? Have y'all thought about that? How you going to contact family? How you going to know that they're okay? What if we can't freely out there and go roam the streets? Like, they put a few different places. Spain just went on lockdown. Italy's on lockdown. You see that China, they going back to some normal. No, they not. They're lying to you. There are videos coming out of there, and people are distraught. They said the government doesn't care about them. They're living in their houses with dead relatives because nobody will come take the bodies. Come on, y'all. Get smart. Think about it. All right, so with that being said, it is Sunday, March the 15th, 2020. We're on day 97. We're reading 1 Kings 1, 2, and 3. All right, y'all. Actually, it's a little lengthy, not that lengthy, but let's go ahead and get started. All right. Now King David was old and stricken in years, and they covered him with clothes, but he got no heat. Wherefore his servant said unto him, Let there be sought for my lord the king a young virgin, and let her stand before the king, and let her cherish him, and let her lie in thy bosom, that my lord the king may get heat. So they sought for the fair damsel throughout all the coasts of Israel, and found Abishag the Shunammite, and brought her to the king. And the damsel was very fair, and cherished the king, and ministered to him, but the king knew her not. Then Adonijah the son of Haggith exalted himself, saying, I will be king. And he prepared him chariots and horsemen, and 50 men to run before him. And his father had not displeased him at any time in saying, What hast thou done so? And he was a very goodly man, and his mother bare him after Absalom. And he conferred with Joab the son of Zeruiah, and with Abiathar the priest, and they followed Adonijah. And they following Adonijah helped him. But Zadok the priest, and Benaiah the son of Jehoiada, and Nathan the prophet, and Shimei, and Rei, and the mighty men which belonged to David were not with Adonijah. And then Adonijah slew sheep and oxen and fat cattle by the stone of Zoheleth, which is by Enrogel, and called all his brethren the king's sons, and all the men of Judah the king's servants. But Nathan the prophet, and Benaiah, and the mighty men, and Solomon his brother, he called not. Wherefore Nathan spake to Bathsheba, the mother of Solomon, saying, Hast thou not heard that Adonijah the son of Haggith doth reign? And David our Lord knoweth it not. Now therefore come, let me, I pray thee, give thee counsel, that thou mayest save thy own life and the life of thy son Solomon. Go and get thee in unto King David, and say unto him, Didst not thou, my lord, O swear unto thine handmaid, saying, Assuredly Solomon thy son shall reign after me, and he shall sit upon my throne? Why then doth Adonijah reign? Behold, while yet thou thus talkest here with the king, I will also come in after thee, and confirm thy words. And Bathsheba went in unto the king into the chamber, and the king was very old, and Abishag the Shunammite ministered unto the king. And Bathsheba bowed and did obeisance unto the king, and the king said, What wouldest thou? And she said unto him, My lord, thou swearest by the Lord thy God unto thy handmaid, saying, Assuredly Solomon thy son shall reign after me, and he shall sit upon my throne. And now, behold, Adonijah reigneth, and now, my lord the king, thou knowest it not. And he hath slain oxen and fat cattle and sheep in abundance, and hath called the sons of the king, and Abiathar the priest, and Joab the captain of the host, but Solomon thy servant he has not called. And thou, my lord, O king, the eyes of all Israel are upon thee, that thou shouldest tell them who shall sit on the throne of my lord the king after him. Otherwise it shall come to pass, when my lord the king shall sleep with his fathers, that I and my son Solomon shall be counted offenders. And lo, while she yet talked with the king, Nathan the prophet also came in. And they told the king, saying, Behold, Nathan the prophet. And when he was come in before the king, he bowed himself before the king with his face to the ground. And Nathan said, My lord, O king, thou hast said, Adonijah shall reign after me, and he shall sit upon my throne. I'm sorry, let me read that again. And Nathan said, My lord, O king, hast thou said, Adonijah shall reign after me, and he shall sit upon my throne? For he has gone down this day, and hath slain oxen and fat cattle and sheep in abundance, and hath called all the king's sons and the captains of the host, and Abiathar the priest. And behold, they eat and drink before him, and say, God save the king Adonijah, but me, even me thy servant, and Zadok the priest, and Benaiah the son of Jehoiada, and thy servant Solomon he hath called not. Is this thing done by my lord the king, and hast thou not showed it unto thy servant, who shall sit on the throne of my lord the king after him? Then King David answered and said, Call me Bathsheba. And she came in unto the king's presence, and stood before the king. And the king sware and said, As the Lord liveth, that hath redeemed my soul out of all distress, even as I swear unto thee by the Lord, the God of Israel, saying, Assuredly Solomon thy son shall reign after me, and he shall sit on my throne in my stead. Even so I will certainly do this day. Then Bathsheba bowed her face toward the earth, and did reverence to the king, and said, Let my lord the king David live forever. And King David said, Call me Zadok the priest, and Nathan the prophet, and Benaiah the son of Jehoiada. And they came before the king. The king also said unto them, Take with you the servants of your lord, because Solomon my son, to ride upon my own mule, and bring him down to Gihon. And let Zadok the priest and Nathan the prophet anoint him there over Israel, and blow ye the trumpet, and say, God save the king Solomon. Then shall ye come up after him, that he may come and sit upon my throne, for he shall be king in my stead. And I have appointed him to be ruler over Israel and over Judah. And Benaiah the son of Jehoiada answered the king and said, Amen. The Lord God of my lord the king say so too. as Yahuwah hath been my Lord, have been with my Lord the king, even so shall he be with Solomon, and make his throne greater than the throne of my Lord King David. So Zadok the priest, and Nathan the prophet, and Benaiah the son of Jehoiada, and the Cherethites, and the Pelethites went down and called Solomon to ride upon King David's mule, and brought him to Gihon. And Zadok the priest took a horn of oil out of the tabernacle, and anointed Solomon, and they blew the trumpet, and all the people said, God save King Solomon. And all the people came up after him, and the people piped with pipes, and rejoiced with great joy, so that the earth rent with the sound of them. And Adonijah and all the guests that were with him heard it, as they had made an end of eating. And when Joab heard the sound of the trumpet, he said, Wherefore is this noise of the city being in an uproar? And while he yet spake, behold, Jonathan the son of Abiathar the priest came. And Adonijah said unto him, Come in, for thou art a valiant man, and bringest good tidings. And Jonathan answered and said unto Adonijah, Verily, our Lord King David hath made Solomon king. And the king sent with him Zadok the priest, and Nathan the prophet, and Benaiah the son of Jehoiada, and the Cherethites, and the Pelethites, and they have caused him to ride upon the king's mule. And Zadok the priest and Nathan the prophet have anointed him king in Gihon, and they are come up from thence rejoicing, so that the city rang again. This is the noise that ye have heard. And also Solomon sitteth on the throne of the kingdom. And moreover, the king's servants came to bless our Lord King David, saying, Make the name of Solomon better than thy name, and make his throne greater than thy throne. And the king bowed himself upon the bed. And also thus saith the king, Blessed be Yahuwah, the God of Israel, which hath giveth one to sit on my throne this day, mine eyes even seeing it. And all the guests that were with Adonijah were afraid, and rose up, and every man went his way. And Adonijah feared because of Solomon, and arose and went and caught hold of the horns of the altar. And it was told Solomon, saying, Behold, Adonijah feareth King Solomon, for lo, he hath caught hold of the horns of the altar, saying, Let King Solomon swear unto me this day that he will not slay his servant with the sword. And Solomon said, If he will show himself a worthy man, there shall not a hair of him fall on the earth. But if wickedness shall be found in him, he shall die. So King Solomon sent, and they brought him down from the altar. And he came down and bowed himself to King Solomon. And Solomon said unto him, Go to thine house. 1 Kings, 2nd chapter. Let me take another sip of water. Now the days of David drew nigh that he should die, and he charged Solomon his son, saying, I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man. And keep charge of Yahuwah thy God, to walk in his ways, to keep his statutes and his commandments and his judgments and his testimonies, as it is written in the law of Moses, that thou mayest prosper in all that thou doest, and whithersoever thou turnest thyself. Pause real quick. Now, today will be the perfect day to begin or continue doing and keeping Yah's laws, statutes, and commandments. Now, there's something, I think I said it was in Isaiah 66, verse 7 to 17, where Yahuwah said, all those who eat the abominable thing, pig, rats, he said his wrath is surely going to come upon them. I'm telling you, this is surely that day. Think about it. China eats all kind, and when I saw that, and I saw their market and everything and where it broke out at, that was the first verse that came to me. But most people don't know that. Believers was praying and stuff because they don't read the Old Testament. But that's exactly what's happening. They're eating every type of abominable thing. The pig, the rat, the mouse, all that stuff, they're eating. And Yahuwah said his wrath is going to pour out upon all of those who eat those things. He said all those, not just his people. He said all those, because when he created all men, right? We're created in his likeness and in his image, and we should be doing those things that he created us to do. All this separation, different religions, and all that stuff is an illusion. It's a trick that covers the eyes to keep you from seeing the truth. That's what an illusion is. That's what y'all told me. He said an illusion is simply a trick that covers the eyes from seeing the truth. I'm like, oh, Father, that's so good. That's so good. So as I began to see it, all this stuff, religion, all how they separate us, people into groups and races and all that stuff, all that is an illusion to keep us separated and keep everybody at odds against one another. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling you. Okay, I just want to bring it up. So if you are not practicing the law, statutes, and commands, you might want to get real familiar with it and begin keeping them, because that's what's going to seal you. That's what's going to seal you during these times. Yah keeps those who keeps his commands. Yes, we need to study on the Shabbat and feast again. Yes, and if y'all don't have anybody to study with, I'm telling you, you should probably begin to study. Go back. Matter of fact, this is a good time to start reading through Exodus again. Exodus, Leviticus, and Deuteronomy. Read through them. It's perfect time. I mean, we're gonna be confined to our houses in a short period of time anyway. So I'm just saying, y'all might want to get real familiar with it, get some good reading material, have a Bible, because I'm not sure how much TV is going to be being watched of everybody. I don't know if they can put the TV stations on repeat or whatever, or all that. I don't know how that's going to go. I'm just saying, I want to get real familiar with it and start practicing that. So, all right. That Yahuwah may continue his word which he spake concerning me, saying, if thy children take heed to their way, and walk before me in truth with all their heart, with all their soul, there shall not fail thee, he said, a man on the throne of Israel. Moreover, thou knowest also what Joab the son of Zeruiah did to me, and what he did to the two captains of the host of Israel, unto Abner the son of Ner, and to Amasa the son of Jether, whom he slew and shed the blood of war in peace. And he put the blood of war upon his girdle, and was about his loins, and his shoes that were on his feet. Do therefore according to thy wisdom, and let not his hoar head go down to the grave in peace. But show kindness unto the sons of Barzillai the Gileadite, and let him be of those that eat at thy table, for they came to me when I fled because of Absalom thy brother. And behold, thou hast with thee Shimei the son of Gera, a Benjamite of Bahurim, which cursed me with a grievous curse in the day I went to Mahanaim. But he came down to meet me at Jordan, and I swear to him by Yahuwah, saying, I will not put thee to death with the sword. Now therefore hold him not guiltless, for thou art a wise man, and knowest what thou ought to do unto him. But his hoar head bring down to the grave with blood. So David slept with his fathers, and was buried in the city of David. And the days that David reigned over Israel were 40 years. 7 years reigned he in Hebron, and 33 years reigned he in Jerusalem. Then sat Solomon upon the throne of David his father, and his kingdom was established greatly. And Adonijah the son of Haggith came to Bathsheba, the mother of Solomon, and she said, Comest thou peaceably? And he said, Peaceably. He said, Moreover, I have somewhat to say unto thee. And she said, Say on. And he said, Thou knowest the kingdom was mine, and that all of Israel set their faces on me, that I should reign. Howbeit the kingdom is turned about, and is become my brother's, for it was his from Yahuwah. And now I ask one petition of thee, deny me not. And she said unto him, Say on. And he said, Speak, I pray thee, unto Solomon, for he will not say nay to thee, that he give me Abishag the Shunammite to wife. And Bathsheba said, Well, I will speak for thee unto the king. Bathsheba therefore went unto King Solomon to speak unto him for Adonijah. And the king arose up to meet her, and bowed himself unto her, and sat down on his throne, and caused a seat to be set for the king's mother, and she sat on his right hand. Then she said, I desire one small petition of thee, I pray thee. Say not to me nay. And the king said unto her, Ask on, my mother, for I will not say nay to thee. And she said, Let Abishag the Shunammite be given to Adonijah thy brother to wife. And King Solomon answered and said unto his mother, Why dost thou ask Abishag the Shunammite for Adonijah? Ask for him the kingdom also, for he is my elder brother, even for him, and Abiathar the priest, and for Joab the son of Zeruiah. Then King Solomon sware by Yahuwah, saying, God do so to me, and moreover also, if Adonijah have not spoken this word against his own life. Now therefore, as Yahuwah liveth, which hath established me, and set me on the throne of David my father, who hath made me a house, as he promised, Adonijah shall be put to death this day. And King Solomon sent by the hand of Benaiah the son of Jehoiada, and fell upon him that he died. And unto Abiathar the priest said the king, Get thee to Anathoth, unto thine own fields, for thou art worthy of death. But I will not at this time put thee to death, because thou bearest the ark of Yahuwah of God because thou bearest the ark of Yahuwah before David my father, and because thou hast been afflicted in all wherein my father was afflicted. So Solomon thrust out Abiathar from being priest unto Yahuwah, that he might fulfill the word of Yahuwah, which he spake concerning to the house of Eli in Shiloh. Then tidings came to Joab, for Joab had returned after Adonijah, though he turned not after Absalom. And Joab fled unto the tabernacle of Yahuwah, and caught hold on the horns of the altar. And it was told King Solomon that Joab was fled unto the tabernacle of Yahuwah, and behold, he is by the altar. Then Solomon sent Benaiah the son of Jehoiada, saying, Go fall upon him. And Benaiah came to the tabernacle of Yahuwah, and said unto him, Thus saith the king, Come forth. And he said, Nay, but I will die here. And Benaiah brought the king word again, saying, Thus says Joab, and thus he answered. And the king said unto him, Do as he hath said, and fall upon him, and bury him, that thou mayest take away the innocent blood which Joab shed from me and from the house of my father. It's about time Joab died. I'm just saying, Joab was a character. He was sometime loyal and sometimes he was unfaithful. Then he talked to the king like he ain't had no sense. I said, bro, it's time for you to go. And Yahuwah shall return his blood upon his own head, who fell upon two men more righteous and better than he, and slew them with a sword. My father David, not knowing thereof, to wit, Abner the son of Ner, captain of the host of Israel, and Amasa the son of the captain of the host of Israel. And Amasa the son of Jether, the captain of the host of Judah. Their blood shall therefore return upon the head of Joab, and upon the head of his seed forever. But upon David, and upon his seed, and upon his house, and upon his throne, there shall be peace forever unto Yahuwah. So Benaiah the son of Jehoiada went up, and fell upon him, and slew him, and he was buried in his own house in the wilderness. And the king put Benaiah the son of Jehoiada in his room over the host, and Zadok the priest did the king put in the room of Abiathar. And the king sent and called for Shimei, and said unto him, Build thee a house in Jerusalem, and dwell there, and go not forth thence any whither. For it shall be that on the day that thou goest out, and passest over the brook Kidron, that thou shalt know for certain that thou shalt surely die. Thy blood shall be upon thine own head. And Shimei said unto the king, The saying is good, as my lord the king hath said, so will thy servant do. And Shimei dwelt in Jerusalem many days. And it came to pass at the end of 3 years that the two servants of Shimei ran away unto Achish, the son of Maachah, king of Gath. And they told Shimei, saying, Behold, thy servants be in Gath. And Shimei arose and saddled his ass, and went and brought his servants from Gath. And it was told Solomon that Shimei had gone from Jerusalem to Gath, and was come again. And the king sent and called for Shimei, and said unto him, Did I not make thee to swear by Yahuwah, and protested unto thee, saying, Know for certain on the day that thou goest out and walkest abroad any whither, that thou shalt surely die? And thou sayest unto me, The word that I have heard is good. Why then hast thou not kept the oath of Yahuwah and the commandment that I have charged thee with? The king said moreover to Shimei, Thou knowest all the wickedness which thine heart is privy to, that thou didst to David my father. Therefore Yahuwah shall return thy wickedness upon thy head, and King Solomon shall be blessed, and the throne of David shall be established forever before Yahuwah. So the king commanded Benaiah the son of Jehoiada, which went out, and fell upon him, that he died, and the kingdom was established in the hand of Solomon. Last chapter for the day, y'all. 28 verses. 1 Kings chapter 3. That's a long reading today, y'all, but we're almost done. And Solomon made affinity with Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and took Pharaoh's daughter, and brought her into the city of David, until he had made an end of building his own house, and the house of Yahuwah, and the wall of Jerusalem round about. Only the people sacrificed in high places, because there was no house built in the name of Yahuwah unto those days. And Solomon loved Yahuwah, walking in the statutes of David his father. Only he sacrificed and burnt incense in high places. And the king went to Gibeon to sacrifice there, for that was the great high place, 1,000 burnt offerings that Solomon offered upon the altar. In Gibeon, Yahuwah appeared unto Solomon in a dream by night, and Yahuwah said, Ask what I shall give thee. And Solomon said, Thou hast showed unto thy servant David, my father, great mercy, according as he walked before thee in truth, and in righteousness, and in uprightness of heart with thee, and thou hast kept him with this great kindness, that thou hast given him a son to sit on his throne, as it is this day. And now, O Lord my God, thou hast made thy servant king instead of David my father, and I am but a little child. I do not know how to go out or come in, and thy servant is in the midst of thy people which thou hast chosen, a great people that cannot be numbered nor counted for multitude. Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge thy people, that I may discern between good and bad. Who is able to judge this? For who is able to judge this, thy so great a people? And the speech pleased Yahuwah that Solomon had asked this thing. And Yahuwah said unto him, because thou hast asked this thing, and hast not asked for thyself long life, neither hast thou asked for riches, nor hast thou asked for the life of thy enemies, but thou hast asked for thyself understanding to discern judgment. Behold, I have done according to thy words. Lo, I have given thee a wise and understanding heart, so there was none like thee before thee, neither after thee shall any arise like unto thee. And I have also given thee that which thou hast asked, both riches and honor, so that there shall not be any among the kings like unto thee all thy days. And if thou wilt walk in my ways, to keep my statutes and my commandments, as thy father David did walk, then I will lengthen thy days. And Solomon awoke, and behold, it was a dream. And he came to Jerusalem, and stood before the ark of the covenant of Yahuwah, and offered up burnt offerings, and offered peace offerings, and made a feast to all his servants. Then there came two women that were harlots unto the king, and stood before him. And the one woman said, O Lord, and I and this woman dwell in one house, and I was delivered of child with her in the house. And it came to pass the third day after I was delivered, that this woman was delivered also. And we were together, and there was no stranger with us in the house, save we the two in the house. And this woman's child died in the night, because she overlaid it. And she arose at midnight, and took my son from beside me, while thy handmaid was still asleep, and laid it in her bosom, and laid her dead child in my bosom. And when I arose in the morning to give my child or to breastfeed, behold, it was dead. And when I had considered in the morning, behold, it was not my son which I did bear. And the other woman said, Nay, but the living is my son, and the dead is thy son. And this said, No, but the dead is thy son, and the living is my son. Thus they spake before the king. Then said the king, the one said, This is my son that liveth, and thy son is dead. The other one said, Nay, but thy son is dead, and my son is the living. They going back and forth like, you got the dead son, mine is the living. They going back and forth, y'all. And the king said, Bring me a sword. And they brought a sword before the king. And the king said, Divide the living child in two, and give half to one, and the other half to the other. Then spake the woman whose the living child was unto the king, for her bowels yearned for her son. And she said, O my Lord, give her the living child, and in no wise slay it. But the other said, Let it neither be mine nor thine, but divide it. Then the king answered and said, Give her the living child, and in no wise slay it, for she is the mother thereof. And all of Israel heard of the judgment which the king had judged, and they feared the king, for they saw that the wisdom of Yahuwah was in him to do judgment. That was a pretty wise thing to do, because no real mother would want to see hurt come to their child. So before they see their child hurt or destroyed in any way, no. Give the baby to her. Don't hurt them. Then, you have to see the wisdom in that's a mother's heart. Before she would cause her child to be hurt, she would give her child away. But the cold-hearted woman, you could tell she had no ties or strings to that baby. She's not the mother. That's the baby's real mother. Give the baby to her, And that woman should have gone to jail somewhere. But, okay, y'all. With that being said, that is our reading for today. If y'all came in because of my title, Before the Next Wave of Panic Set In, I explained all that at the first 5 minutes of the video. Probably like the first 7 minutes of the video. So, when I stop this and it's posted, go back and watch it so you can see exactly what I'm saying. And please, y'all, please be wise. And if you have not prepared, listen to what I'm saying and go do something and make sure you are prepared to take care of your family, because them schools not opening back up in 2 weeks, y'all. As sure as I know I'm black and my name Pam, them schools not opening back up in 2 weeks. Everybody can deal with 2 weeks because is 2 weeks. We can deal with 2 weeks. Anything other than 2 weeks will cause pandemonium to set in and cause people to go in chaos, and they have to keep the peace right now. They're controlling the chaos that arises, and they're not. They're prepared. You'll see. Y'all will see. Y'all gonna see in the coming days. So I'm just saying, go get all the information at the beginning of the video. So with that being said, y'all, let's go ahead and close this out so you can go back and see it if you didn't see it. Seriously, take me seriously, y'all. Y'all ain't gotta listen to me. Just pay attention to what's going on, right? And be mindful. Continue praying, but don't just pray. Pray and watch, and add some works to your faith, because faith without works is dead. You got faith that Yah is going to keep you protected and everything, but if you ain't prepared, that's like waiting for a job. Oh yeah, the job gonna call me, but you ain't filled out an application or nothing. How you expect the job? You just believe God gonna bless you with a job, but you ain't did nothing. Just sitting there praying and believing. That's foolishness. Faith without works is dead. So you praying and believing He gonna keep you safe. Make sure you can keep your family safe, and whatever you can't do, let Him do supernaturally, and add that to your faith, because shucks. Make sure you can protect your family. Make sure your family can eat. Get a bat, knife. I'm not saying that hear what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you're going to have to use those things. But just in case you live in one of those type of neighborhoods or in an area where people who are panicking, realizing it's nothing left at stores and they can't get anything, they're going to start attacking other people who they think have stuff. So be sure that you can protect yourself. And my prayer is that nobody will show up in my neighborhood that would do that. My block of neighbors, I think we're pretty good group of people. Kind of everybody know everybody on my block or whatever. But if you live in a community, now is probably the time where you really get to know your neighbors. You might have some crazy neighbors or whatever, but I know my one neighbor, old man, he got like 50 guns. So we talked to Mr. Henry all the time. He got like 50 guns. He's like ex-military and everything, and he ready for the end of the world. That's all I'm saying. And we got the Purge House here on the corner. We call it the Purge House because ever since we moved here, they keep the shutters down. They got all kind of gardens and stuff growing around the house. They out there every day tilling that. I told my husband yesterday, I'm telling you, I told James day before yesterday, we was driving down the street. I was like, babe, let me tell you something. If ain't nobody else on this block ready, the Purge House is ready. Because I tell you, for the last 3 years we've been here, they've been faithfully out there. They've made use of all their yard out there. They're constantly planting stuff, harvesting it, taking it in the house. It's an older white couple. I'm like, they've been doing this for a while. You see them sitting on the porch, and at a certain time they shut us down and lock. I'm like, man, I was like, they must have a basement in there too. I said, because all this stuff they done harvested over the last years that I've seen with my own eyes, I say they gonna be set for whatever come. I'm sure they locked. I'm sure they got a way to protect it too. But it kind of also makes you a target as well, because people can see, they might have something there. So you don't want to bring any extra attention to yourself. Just kind of blend in like a gray man. A gray man is like, say you go out in a crowd and you want people to believe you're a soccer mom, but say you could be an assassin, but you need people to believe you're a soccer mom, then you would play the part looking like a soccer mom, meaning you're a gray man. You're fitting into the mold that you want people to believe you are, so you don't bring unnecessary attention to yourself. Hey girl, hey Christina. So that's pretty much what it is. So go out there, y'all, prepared, because like I said in the beginning, when that next wave of panic hit, when they realize them schools not going to open back up, they're going to be doing more than just getting water and toilet paper. Right now, some people ain't thinking about grabbing the canned goods and the non-perishables, y'all. Get seeds. Start keeping your fresh produce and stuff. Start reproducing. Even if you live in an apartment, you can grow produce in planters and pots. You can, in a little grocery bag, you can grow it. It's so easy to reproduce stuff. Green onions will literally reproduce overnight. Just cut off the bottom parts, stick them in some water, and they will begin to regrow. Everything you buy can regrow. So I'm just saying, because fresh produce is going to be out in a while, and like, we're real big on fresh produce because we're eating plant-based, especially me. So I was like, oh Father, when I get done with this fast, I was like, I'm not sure if they're gonna be out there. So I was like, think, Pam, seeds, start doing it now. So now I'm learning how the stuff that I can't eat now, I'm reproducing it, but I'm freezing it. Make sure I'm freezing it and storing it the right way, so I'll have something to eat in a couple weeks when I can start eating again. So I'm like, okay, that's smart. Thank you. So even seeds and stuff, we're in planting season now, and things reproduce kind of. So some things that that you can harvest every 30 days. Like I said before, kale, spinach, like chard, some of those green things, the salads and everything. Y'all can go back, dig a hole in your ground and put some. You know how potatoes, if you let them sit in the pantry too long, they get the little sprouts on them. Don't throw them away. Go put them in the ground. You know how many potatoes you can reproduce off of one sprouted potato? Seriously, dig a hole in the ground, take them potatoes, put them in the ground, cover them back up. And in about, I think it's like 60 to 70 days for potatoes? It could be 70 to 100 days. But anyway, almost by the end of summer, you have a whole slew of potatoes. You can live off of potatoes, people. I'm just saying, it's going to get bad, but think smart. Think ahead and how you can feed your family. I'm serious. Because if you're not in a neighborhood where y'all are already a community, y'all can watch each other's back and keep everybody safe and share amongst one another. If you're away from family, it's going to get kind of hard, y'all. It's going to get hard. So add some works to your faith and just start doing some things. When the stores die down a little bit, because everybody waiting for the restock, and some stores are restocking now because they still kind of have stuff in their local distribution centers where they can send out. But when that stop, guys, we live over here, like at the terminals where the ships and stuff are coming in, those are getting empty. There are no imports coming in here. There are no imports. So if there, and most of the different things, the produce, if you don't have like local farmers and stuff that you're buying from, there's nothing coming in here. So it's only so much supply that we already have in the States. And you know what to do? You know what the government is going to do? They're going to take hold of all of that and they're going to ration out. Like I said, how would you like to be one of the ones standing in line waiting for the government to ration out food for your family? Like I said earlier, not on my watch. Y'all better get smart. People not thinking about it, go buy some seeds. Seeds are like 97 cents. You can go to they even have them at dollar stores. Go to Home Depot, Lowe's, go to planting stores, flower stores. They sell vegetable seed packets. They give you the instructions on what to do. It's so easy. You can reproduce your food. I tell you, convenience has gotten a lot of our people in trouble, and gonna get a lot of people in trouble this day because we've forgotten how to live off the land. Most people don't know how to do anything because everything is pretty much done for us. We just pay money and it's done. So I'm just saying it's really time to start, and it's not hard, y'all. You can literally grow your own food. And if you stay in a small apartment, you can literally just take some planters or some pots or a bucket. You can grow stuff in 5-gallon buckets and bags and reproduce potatoes and carrots and stuff like that. Good stuff. So, all right, y'all. I'm done running my mouth. But if you came in because of the title before the next wave of panic sets in, like I said, that's like the first 7 minutes of this video. So I'm going to go ahead and bless us with the blessing that Yahuwah said to bless his people with, and I'm going to post it, and y'all go back and watch it from the beginning. So may Yahuwah bless us and keep us. May he make his face to shine upon us and be gracious unto us. May he lift his countenance upon us and give us his peace. All right, y'all. I love y'all, and I will see you in the morning. Peace.